Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw Venom Godzilla. It's going to be more of a head pose, but it's going to be mostly geared at beginners. I'm going to be using this Acrylic brand marker. It's only going to be about maybe 10 minutes-ish, so stay all the way to the end of the video. So at the very end of the video, the end of 10 minutes, you'll have a new skill. So let's get started, okay? If you like learning how to draw like Godzilla, if you like learning how to draw anything, your favorite characters from all, like TV, movies, hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification. It's really, chill to do this. And if you like Godzilla, by the way, or Venom, hit the like, because then I'll know, to draw them more often. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to draw Godzilla slash Venom's eye. That's going to be the biggest differentiator as to, like, oh, that ain't Godzilla. I'm going to pull in here. I'm going to throw like a wiggliness at the top of the eye here, like fire. And it's going to be pretty much straight at the bottom. I notice that's a big thing with Venom and stuff. Alright, then I'm going to draw a line over here above the brow, pulling back. He's got a pretty low forehead, Godzilla does, I noticed, so I'm going to pull that down. Back here. Gonna pull a line forward for the snout because his snout's pretty like a bumpy snout. It's also pretty how do you say it? The snout is kind of short as well. Gonna throw some of at least a shape here, for some of Godzilla's spikes that are gonna be going off the page, essentially. And I'm gonna mark a line over here for where I want, the Godzilla smile to be at the very end. So I'm gonna draw the line over here for kind of that Venom smile, that arcing thing open, and I'm gonna draw that skin flap on the side of the mouth that lizards have. Go over here at the bottom, back of the jaw. And you're going to guess that most of this is going to be teeth. So I'm going to start over here. Maybe draw them smaller than you would think. The reason you want to draw them smaller is because Godzilla is a kaiju and he's huge. So, I mean, they're going to be various sizes, but when teeth are smaller, it makes the animal look a lot bigger sometimes. Not always, but especially with something that like his scale, I think it might be a good idea to like keep them smaller than you would think. It doesn't have to be real small, right? They're not small, but smaller than you would imagine. I think it'd be a good idea. So we drop the top row here, and now we're just gonna find the tongue, and we're gonna go nuts with that tongue. Change markers over a little bit. This one's just kind of dying a little bit. Going over here, and I have to follow the trail back to the tongue over here. And I'm going to find the teeth in the lower part of the jaw here. And I'm just going to put those in relatively quickly before the lip even. Even the back teeth over there, because we're going to follow this all the way back here. And there's going to be a back row of teeth because we're probably going to be looking up at this guy. Down here, finding the lower chin of Godzilla here, pulling back over here. Pulling down and pulling into the chest area over here. Alright, again, we're not going to see a lot of his spikes. They're going to be over there. But there will be a lot of scales and stuff going on. A lot of this is going to be texture based. So you're going to have to like kind of deal with a texture based thing. Right here, so let's do it. The snout's going to have a nostril. And we're going to start pulling curved lines over here because Godzilla has like this almost... And almost every version of him has, I mean, he has these thick scales especially in the old school Godzilla, he has this, because I know they had to make it like the outfit or something, right? Out of like felt. Pull a line over here for the lip. Most of him, his is going to be this, you know, I'm going to pull big scales for the back. With thinner lines, keep in mind, I'm trying to throw thinner lines in here. So, just kind of throwing maybe more spikes than Godzilla would normally have on his back here. And I'm trying to fit them in because, you know, I went all the way to the edge of the paper. He's going to go off the paper, essentially. And I'm just going to trail it down there. But a lot of that's going to go right off the page. We're doing such a close-up shot. So everything beyond this is going to be like thin line texture. So maybe I'll throw a line right here for, you know, big thick line right here for maybe some shadow. That, you know, he would probably cast a pretty big shadow onto the top part of his neck there. And then everything else is going to be like, you know, like texture, right? Think of lizard texture. You can draw like lines down and then maybe curve. So when you throw these curves right here, it gives them a little bit of dimension as opposed to just drawing it straight across. You know, you're giving a little curve, like, you know, you can feel the object a little bit. Like, okay, cool. So that's like Godzilla's neck looks more kind of round, you know, with these thin lines as scales. You can do the same thing on this side as well. And we can more or less put it everywhere, which is kind of what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put it pretty much everywhere. Oops, it is. Um, and you're drawing these thin scales everywhere. Again, like I say with the T-Rex, you are, how do you say this? There's the bottom. You want to throw a line at the bottom, like there's a light coming from above, and there's a little bit of shadow on the bottom of that scale, and that's why you want to throw that all these scale shapes, except for the big ones on the back. Oh, I guess you could do that as well. You want to throw them like underneath, like so. You're doing these half circles at the bottom, not at the top, and you're just kind of sprinkling them around, right? Thinner lines. Let me fill in the back of the far side of the mouth here because that's really going to make things easier to read. Because a big part of this is how quickly the user can understand what's going on. The user, wow, I'm not like it's not a video game. The observer, right? The observer, like how quickly they can understand what's happening or what it is, right? And a lot of that comes from filling in shapes darker, you know, making it more understandable than not. Maybe throwing a line over here. Sorry for the throat. I made that common mistake I said in the last tutorial, where I was like, oh yeah, common mistake is people don't draw the neck on here, the throat, because you know he's got to eat, right? So I mean he's gonna have a throat. Maybe throwing a couple of thin super lines for detail around here. You can even draw like a dot. I know people do that for like, I don't know, just it makes it look more natural. So the thing is, Godzilla's so scaly, it's kind of hard to overdo these if they're thin. If you're using a thin wispy line like that, it's really hard to overdo them. It's gonna be pretty much, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's gonna be really hard with this big scaly monster, right? He's got every aspect of like scary, scaly. I'm throwing some dark over here behind the teeth so that the teeth stand out a little bit more. Um, and that's mostly it. See, I can throw dots here. A lot of this is up to you. Like, how would you create texture, right? You're throwing these tiny, thin lines, almost wispy, to create an overall look, and you're putting it everywhere, but not like 100% everywhere, but you're peppering it all over, right? Imagine it was like peppered. You're not like filling up the whole thing like a grid. That'd be too much. And let me throw some darkness back here. That is pretty much it. If you enjoyed this and you got some value from this, do me a humongous favor. The best thing you can do to pay me back is to the best thing you can do to pay me back if you found value from this is to share the video somewhere. Share it on either with someone you think will enjoy it, or share it on. I'm gonna thicken the line around his eye actually. Or that looks pretty cool. Or you can share it on the like takes 2 seconds to on the bottom right hand corner of Instagram. You can Instagram on YouTube. There's an auto share function where if you're logged into something else, it will share it instantly, and that literally takes 2 seconds. And it would do a lot for this channel, like a lot. You have no idea how much it does. I don't think people realize the power they do have. It really helps out, like a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any requests, let me know. Maybe I can do like a Venom Rodan or something. Just let me know, like for reals, and I'll try to make it happen. If you guys speak out and communicate with me, I'm always down. Thank you so much. I will see you next time, and I will talk to you soon. See you later.